Let's do this. Topic of today's video. Providing for a woman is not the meta anymore. This is. Meta stands for most effective tactic available. It's like a gaming term, and meta will basically mean like what's the best way to sort of play the game right now. Providing for a woman is not the best way to play the game anymore. So let's talk about the old way. The old way from even before this actually, but really from the 1800s Industrial Revolution to around 2000 or something was the old way, which was man goes to work to make money. He then spends that money so that his woman can stay at home, and then she likes him because of that, because then she gets to spend time with her little babies and she respects him because he makes the money. This is like what you've heard of. This is like traditional masculinity. A lot of people talk about this. Andrew Tate, even I have as well, actually. And the whole idea is like, provide for your woman. You make money and then you can provide for your woman. And actually, it's kind of stupid. It's completely outdated. This is the old way. First of all, let me explain why that's outdated. Providers get fucked and divorced all the time, right? You've heard these stories, right? Think about it. Like, divorce rates are so high. Do you know what percentage of divorces are women divorcing their husbands compared to men divorcing their wives? Did you know the statistic? Do you think it's like 50-50? So 50, like of all divorces, 50% are women who initiate the divorce and 50% are men. No. Not even close. Over 80% of divorces are initiated by the woman, and just a small percent, like 20, and even I think it's less now, are initiated by the man. This is what happens. So, man's going to work, making the money. Woman, let's say, is provided for. Let's say either she's stay at home, or maybe she does go to work, but she makes less money than the man does, and her job's like less hours. She's got maternity leave, so she's looking after the little baby there. Okay, sweet, nice. He's working really hard on a job that he doesn't actually like, but he does it for the family, which he's actually pretty happy about. He's working hard all this time. But then his wife nags him. Why haven't you done that thing? You never do that thing. Why haven't you done this? Oh, can you just do that for me? Just do it quick. Oh, no, I'm not in the mood today. No, I don't want to. I'm not in the mood. No, I'm too tired to have sex. I already gave you a hand job last week. What, you want more than half a blowjob for your birthday? Stop being selfish. I'm not in the mood. I'm just tired after pregnancy. This is what happens in most marriages. And I know it sounds sad. I know it seems like I've got some nihilistic view of relationships. But this is actually statistically the most likely scenario after you get married. Your sex life completely and utterly dies. Almost no one's sex life actually improves when they get married. So your sex life goes down. Let's say your solo life will go down. Your time to spend on your own things and your own time goes down because you'll be working hard to provide for the family, and also your health will go down. Even your social life will go down. Social life. The only thing that'll really kind of go upwards is basically just your money and your work. And why are you working so hard? Why have you sacrificed some of your health, some of your sleep, your social life, your health, sleep, your time, your solo time, sex? Why have you sacrificed all that for work and for money? Well, you've done it for your family. That's the great sacrifice of a man. He works hard to provide for his family. The problem is, women actually don't respect the provider. I know that sounds crazy, and you're hearing this for the first time ever thinking, no, Hamza's wrong. I give you my word, this is the truth of the world. Women actually don't respect the provider. They don't actually respect the guy who gives them money. I'm telling you, they really don't. I'm telling you, from my instant, mine is a bit different, of course, because, I'm very young and extremely, successful at such a young age. But even for me, I'm telling you, girls do not actually give a shit about money. They really don't. I've had times where I've retired a girl. She was working some shit job. She became my girlfriend. So I just started paying for everything. Eventually gave her money as well, like every month, so that she doesn't need to work, whatever. And she doesn't need to constantly ask me to buy things because now she doesn't work, whatever. And I'm telling you, respect never fucking goes up. Her sort of liking for you never goes up. You'll get a couple of nice text messages every now and then mostly basically it's just the relationship's just kind of like this, where it's like people just get used to the money you give them, basically, especially if it's like a consistent sort of direct debit. You know, you're giving them 1K, 5K a month or whatever. Then they'll just get used to it. You being a provider doesn't actually get you a woman's respect or love or anything. The way to get her love, her commitments and stuff is with you and your love. We think our love is providing, but she thinks our love is the same love that she wants, which is, for example, it's attention and presence. These are the things that will actually get her to commit to you more than you providing and just paying the bills. We as men we have fallen for a lie, like modern men, right? This is because the game's kind of changed. Modern men, we've fallen for the lies that if we pay for the bills, she will respect us and like us. And some women will actually say that, well, yeah, of course, I want a guy to, if I can be a stay-at-home mom. I'm telling you, that's not the way. I'm telling you, you making money is awesome. And this sounds weird. You making money is still a good thing. Don't get me wrong. It's still a good thing. But if you think you're just going to be the provider role, I'm telling you right now, and what's going to happen is you'll be working so much that then you're not as attentive. You're not actually, good at making eye contact with her. You're sleep deprived, so then you're a little bit sharp with her or whatever. You end up becoming the kind of husband that she's not even like feeling the love from, because you're out working all the time. And then that's not even to mention your sort of sexual polarity, your romance, because again, a woman does not want to have sex with you more if you pay the bills. Look at every married man on the fucking planet. Once they paid the bills and, they gave the woman the commitment, basically sex always will fucking drop after that point. In fact, sex is actually the highest for who? For who? It's like the asshole bad boy who doesn't fucking make any money or doesn't give her any of the money. The guys who have the most sex with basically like the future wives of today, they're not giving them any fucking money. They're just fun, sexy guys, sexy with high SMV, sexual market value. Basically, they just bring a lot to the table in terms of like being sexy bad boys. They're like, they feel dangerous and exhilarating to be around. They trigger their emotions. They make them angry sometimes, whatever. That's it. So you get her respect by increasing your SMV, by becoming like a higher tier guy. The same with sex as well. What does providing get you? Providing, paying for the bills, what does actually get you? Basically fucking nothing. If you think that you paying for the bills is going to get her love, you would be sadly mistaken. Even women who will tell you that it would, they're just lying. They're just like, they don't know. Paying the bills is not going to get you her love. Paying the bills is not going to get you more sex after marriage. It's not. Of course it's not, bro. If it was, every married guy would be so happy. The reason why married guys are so fucking depressed is because the moment that they get married right over there and they're working hard, they're paying the bills, but then their wife has... Oh, let's put it this way. The man is investing more and more and more into the relationship. He's worked another 5 years, another 5 years, another 5 years. He's just been trading his life for money, trading his money for supposedly love. What's painful about this, though, is that on the same time, this was the lowest commitment right here from the man. And, he's, let's say, like, here was before and they got married here. For the woman, in terms of like sex and in terms of her appreciation for the man, it's actually highest before he's really been providing for her, committing to her with marriage, and it goes down. So do you see the great scam of like the sort of traditional relationship where I'm telling you, these girls will have the most sex with you, and it's not just about sex, but it's also about romance, appreciation, respect, whatever. They'll have the most sort of positive emotions towards you at the start, like the sort of sooner part of a relationship, when you've committed and provided less of your resources. And as you commit and provide more of them, in basically every single fucking relationship, the things that men are looking out for in the relationship, like respect and romance and sex and intimacy, those go down in basically every single fucking marriage. And again, look, some little low testosterone guy will be watching this saying, it's not just about sex, but it is about intimacy. It is about like, having your needs fulfilled. Sex is a huge part of life, and especially it's one of the biggest sort of dissatisfactions of a marriage for most men when their wife starts saying no to sex basically every single day, then every week, and then it's like once every 2 weeks or some crazy shit shit like that. And then your fucking like, you know, your colleague or your gardener or some shit or her boss is having sex with her more than you are. Right? So like, look at this fucking weird graph where as you invest, as you provide more and more and more to a woman, the things that you were looking out for, basically like intimacy and romance and her love and commitments, go down over time. So this is the great graph of the scam that is a traditional relationship. The traditional relationship is one, by definition, I would say it's this. It's where the man provides for basically the love of the woman, who is the sort of stay at home mom. Yeah. This was the traditional relationship. Now, this used to work back 100, 200 years ago when there was religion, which pushed women to basically actually, like, you know, take this exchange and say, yeah, well, you know, you married, you've got to stay committed. Yep, he's working hard for you, whatever. And, you know, there's many other things. But when there was religion, this actually like made sense. It actually made sense. Now there just isn't. And even for the people who are religious, by the way, it's like, it's not the same. It's not the same. If a girl can be religious, she's not going to have the same pressure as 100, 200 years ago to like be faithful for you, and the same with you and stuff. Nowadays, like the people, like obviously religion's still a good thing, but the sort of, the religion doesn't have the same social pressure to keep a married couple together. Like I'd probably even like 10% as powerful as it used to be on the pressure of like, you know, a married couple. So now that you don't have that same pressure for the married couple to behave and to exchange, you know, the two things, okay, it's the man provides and for the woman's love, basically the woman's respect and commitment to him. That's gone. That's gone. That's what we keep seeing. For the last 50 years, the guys who have provided their entire lives, like imagine they got married when they were like, they got married when they were like 20 years old. The guy provides, works all that entire time. They get to about 40 and the woman divorces him and also gets to keep getting 50% of the rest of his earnings. Just let's just pause for a second, by the way. How fucked is that? Did you know that's what like divorce is like? Like imagine, okay, you get married at 20. Let's say this, you know, this was a while ago. It's young. You get married. You're together for like 20 years. Okay, when you get divorced, she'll get 50% of your stuff and basically the children as well, and maybe she'll take the house and whatever. But also, so she's taken 50% of the assets that you worked for. Okay, right away. But also, all the money you keep making from now on, she's going to also get 50% of it. What? So the providers get fucked all the time. I'm telling you, bro, there's hard-working dads who get fucked over all the time. Maybe your own father has. Like, go and ask. Every maybe 3 fathers you speak to, I guarantee at least 1, if not even 2, or maybe even closer to 3, honestly, maybe closer to like 100%. And anyone who's not in this bucket will be in the next 10 years. The guy who is the hard-working guy who's just provided this entire time, he does not maintain his woman's love, intimacy, affection, respect, or anything. And eventually, when she divorces him, because most divorces are initiated by women, he's lost everything. He wasn't even getting the sort of happiness of the relationship, like the sex, the respect, intimacy, whatever. But, you know, he was doing it for his family. And then she gets the divorce and she takes the children and everything else. It's fucking crazy, right? And in fact, look, and this is the brutal thing that a lot of guys don't like to talk about because it really hurts. It literally makes her lose respect for you subconsciously because it's a beta trait to share resources. It really is. Like, it is literally look, if there was two types of guys, there's the Jeffrey and the Adonis. There's the loser and the winner. There's the beta male and the alpha male. This guy tries to buy her love through resources, through currency. And that is unattractive. It's not attractive to a woman, especially not for her sort of primal attraction. She can kind of, you know, hype this guy up in a modern day version of saying that, yep, he is a real man. He is a guy who is providing for her. He's a real man who really wanted to date seriously. Okay, sure. But guys like this get fucked over all the time. They work hard for 20 to 30 years in a marriage and then their wife divorces them every single time because it's just not attractive. It's really not. We've been sold a lie to think if you're this type of guy who works hard for his family, that will guarantee you your woman's love. And I know what I'm saying sounds crazy, right? But look, like the fact is there. We've been told that if you work hard to provide for your family, that your woman will love you and respect you. We've been told that. But literally, if you look at any fucking fathers, you'll literally see that they basically work their entire lives and still got divorced, still got cheated on. Because it's not these things that maintain a woman's love. It's not. It's these things, which is basically, it's your sort of passionate connection back to her. It's your sexiness, your SMV. These are things that you're not really told, like, because we're told so much, like, I provide for a woman, make money, then you can provide for your wife. But you're not told these as much. I mean, maybe more these days, guys like me are telling you, like, oh yeah, these are like the traits you've got to build up as a guy and stuff. But it's a lie to think that if you provide for a woman and you pay for her bills, that she will like you, love you, respect you, and have sex with you. It's a lie. It's not the truth. You like the best case scenario, you get one of these mundane modern marriages where it starts off okay and sharply drops after you get married, and then you're kind of like miserable, but then you've signed up for this fucking weird contract where now if you leave, she gets like 50% of your shit and 50% for the rest of your fucking life as well. It just makes no fucking sense. It's just crazy. If you think that you can buy her love by paying for the bills, you will be sadly mistaken. So, what is the new meta? Remember I said meta was like, okay, the best tactic to use. What is the new meta? The new meta is for you to be selfish and to spend on yourself in ways that increases your SMV. Because if you are, SMV basically is like sexual market value, basically just means like how sexy you are, not just like, physical looks or whatever, but just in general, like a weird, like vulgar way to say it is how wet you get a girl, which is not about just how beautiful you are, but it's also like the story behind it. It's your confidence. It's the place you live. It's like, your character, whatever, right? If you, look, we've already acknowledged, if you make a ton of money, you pay for the bills just to try and get her heart, you won't, because a woman's heart cannot be bought. If it was, bro, every guy would be paying for it. If it was, every girl would be truly in love with their sugar daddy and wouldn't want money from him. But it's not that, like, it's not. It's just not. It's like you can basically buy her sort of like her kind of being okay with you. Like, it's at first she's kind of happy, then she's kind of okay, and before you know it, when you've given the ultimate commitment, marriage, whatever, then she's just showing her real face. Now she doesn't want to have sex with you. Now she doesn't want to do like the things you want to do, whatever. We just know this doesn't work. But the new meta is you just maximizing how attractive you are, not just again with looks, but just in general, and using your money actually selfishly. Selfishly. Because if you use your money selfishly to boost your life and your attractiveness, then she thinks that she's with a guy who's like a fucking 10 out of 10. And then she'll want to actually stay and be committed. And she's like looking over at you thinking like, oh my God, he's like so hot. He's so beautiful. Other girls want him. Awesome. This is the way. It's to make money still, but actually use it inside of yourself. Like, let me explain. Let's say we can give a girl $1,000. Straight away, that sounds retarded, right? But we can give that to her. And she might be grateful for it, but it's like, bro, she's not going to respect you. She's not going to love you, whatever. But let's say we spend that $1,000 on ourselves and we buy the best gym membership, personal trainer, clothes that fit us. Now we look nice and sexy, whatever. She will actually have a bigger attraction to us, even though we selfishly spent the money on ourselves. Now, I think you completely agree with this, right? Especially at our age, like the chances are you're in your 20s if you're watching this. This completely makes sense. And you couldn't even have imagined like sort of providing or giving money to a girl right now. But then the real sort of argument comes about, okay, well, what do you do actually for a family? And in that case, of course, you're still going to then spend for your family. You're still going to like pay, the bills, whatever. You're still going to be that guy. I'm not telling you to not make money, and I'm not even telling you to not spend on your family. This is the weird mindset. And I know like the guys who shouldn't be watching this channel, they'll be commenting below like, Hamza doesn't get it. No, those guys don't fucking get it, Rook. Here's the big mindset. You're not going to stop making money. You're not. You're going to keep making money. Let me make a cross tick. You're going to keep making money. You're probably going to keep actually providing for your family as well. But it's just going to be with a new mindset that providing for your family does not actually maintain her love. That's the mindset. You see the weird nuance here where I'm not telling you not to make money. I'm not telling you not to give the money to your family. I'm not telling you that. Those things are still good. You're going to do that. You're still going to make money and also still provide for your family. You're still going to pay the bills. But the only difference is now, guys like us understand that that does not actually equal her love. Now what we understand, the big lesson here is we are going to do these things just because we fucking want to. We want to have the motivation and we want to have that flex of being able to buy shit for our family. We want to take our family onto like business class, first class, private jet, whatever. We want to be able to give them like a great start to life and a beautiful home, which is safe, and safe cars and whatever. Of course, because we're masculine men, we love to work. And it's like after a while, you've spent enough money on yourself. It's like, well, it's nice to have people to spend it on and to help them, right? So these things are still important. But the big mindset I want you to have is we're still going to do all those things. It's just that we now believe and we know it's not going to equal, see the equal side is crossed out, it's not going to equal her love. We know that her love and also her sexual attraction in us, which will mix into love, it does not come from the money. It will come from our attractiveness, how attractive we are. And so if we want to boost her love in us, we will actually first invest the money into us. Because think about it, what's better? This is a weird analogy, but imagine, okay, what's better? The relationship where you have her love, but then the family's like kind of broke at the same time. Or the relationship where you don't have her love and you're not having sex with her and maybe she's about to cheat, but yeah, sure, you make money and provide for your family. Which one? Like, which one would you rather have? This one, you can make money in the future and you still have her love. This one, you don't have a love. So it's like, what are you even working hard for? Okay, for your children. But if you don't have a love, she's probably ready to leave you anyway. Do you see how in a relationship, the providing is actually not as important as we've been thinking about it, as young masculine men? It's actually not as important. Way above providing is actually having her love and her respect into you. Because if you have these things, and let's say you end up being broke, she still loves and respects you. She'll still stay with you. If all you have is providing and her love for you is kind of diminished because you've not been showing up in the actual attractive way. Because again, women will say that they find this attractive. I'm telling you, they genuinely don't. The things they find attractive is more like, let me just break this down for you. It's more like presence. It's how attractive you actually are. Like, okay, how SMV, what's your looks like? What's your confidence? What's your character? Can you hold frame, or does she basically shit test you and you break? Like, what's your sort of mindset? Are you dominant? Right? These are the things that actually increase a woman's. Take a screenshot if you want. Sorry, it's all like a bit shitty. But these are the things that will actually get you a woman's love and physical, emotional, physical, mental, whatever. Whether she's fully in love with you or also the sort of sexual aspect. It's these things. These are all like basically free for you to have or to give. Of course, some of these things will take a while, like, having a sexy body and the mindset takes a while for you to, learn how to sort of behave around women. I should have like game and flirting and charm, or you kids call it Riz these days. These are the things, right? So just think about this weird example, and I know some fucking cuck's going to be watching this saying, actually, I just choose the providing because I'm a man. No, shut the fuck up. Would you provide... Like, would you really want to provide if you didn't have your woman's love? Why? And you might say, oh, okay, but for the children. Okay, fair enough. But to that, I would say, well, if you really cared about your children, you'd want to have your woman's love, because if you don't have that, then she'll fucking divorce you and take the children away, right? So above all, we should be thinking, okay, well, what actually gets her love? It's those things. And what will help you with those things of, basically just being an attractive man. And again, not just in looks, but in many different areas. Well, then, yeah, make that the priority of your expenses. Because if you lose her love, the entire game's broken. If you lose her love, even if you've got children, it's like, bro, you'll lose the fucking children as well. She'll just leave. These days, there's no like real resistance to a woman leaving her husband, leaving with the children, whatever. Do you see how... Like, now you see the nuance, right? So make sure you go to the comments and make sure you go argue with the fucking... Like, there's always, like, one fucking imbecile who watches, like, 2 minutes of a video and leaves a comment saying, like, no, actually, I disagree. Even though I'm worse than you guys in every endeavor possible, I disagree. It's like, shut up. You didn't even watch the fucking video. I'm not saying that making money is a bad thing. I'm not saying that making money to give to your family is a bad thing. I'm saying you should still do those things, because I'm still going to do those things. Of course, I still am going to do those things. But I'm saying that making money does not guarantee that she will actually respect you. That's like the brutal kind of red pill. Because if it did, bro, every little loser guy who's, a bit of a dork, whatever, every one of them would have a ton of pussy. Every single one of them would. But they don't. Guys who have got quite a lot of money, there's so many of them. In fact, I would say more often than not, these guys actually don't have their women's love. In fact, and what you'd probably see is the guy who doesn't have much money, he still has a lot of women's love, bro. I had multiple girlfriends when I was in university, and I probably had like less than £100 in my bank account. It's like you know this, right? You know broke guys fuck, right? You completely know this, right? There's guys who are working so hard, 100K a year, they're grinding on their business thinking that they're becoming attractive to their wives, and their wives are getting fucked by some broke guy instead because the broke guy is passionate. The broke guy is like, he looks her into the eyes, he fucks her good, he fucks her like an animal. The guy who makes even, let's say, 7 figures, like 1 fucking million a year, if he doesn't do those other things, like, being physically attractive and mentally attractive, if he doesn't have like good fucking dick game, if he's not passionate, if he's not flirty, if he's not sexual, these are the things that really fucking excite a woman. So what the point of this video is not for me to discourage you to say money is not important or that money's not good, whatever, because it is. Look, if to make money and then to spend it on your children is a beautiful thing. To make money and then to be able to get your wife to not need to work so she can be a stay-at-home mom and she's looking after the children more is a beautiful thing. But that does not guarantee that she won't cheat or divorce you or get bored of you or anything, because most guys do this and most guys still get divorced, and most guys still, at the very least, if they don't get divorced, their wife's attraction to them just fucking plummets over time because they've basically prioritized the money and providing over the sort of sexy attractiveness things. And when you do that, you'll realize her attraction to you goes down. So the question you've got to ask yourself just in your mind is, which one would you rather have? Which one would you want to prioritize? The money that, okay, sure, is like good for the family, whatever, or the sort of the sexual attractiveness things that actually maintain her love, which is also really good for the family as well. What's better for the family? And I'm telling you right now, bro, I genuinely think a family that's broke but has really loving parents who are fully into each other, I think that's pretty great. You know why? Because when you've got your wife's support, when you've got your girl's support like that, and your children are also seeing it, and let's say, you're kind of poor, you're struggling with some bills, whatever, it's not actually terribly difficult for you to then start making money because you've got a wonderful woman by your side who loves you. I would rather, if I had to choose one, I would rather snap my fingers and be in this relationship than, for example, the opposite relationship, which is that, okay, you make a fuck ton of money, the children are all good, the wife, is kind of spoiled, whatever, but you don't have her love and respect. You know why? Because getting a woman's love and respect when you don't have it is really, really fucking hard. Making money when you don't have it, but also you have like a woman who's by your side as well, it's like, bro, it's not terribly hard. There's teenagers who are making money, right? If you had to choose one of these, which one would it be? Really ask yourself why. And like for me, I would personally say this one 100 times. I can make more money. But if I've got like the whole point of the family is that the woman is truly in love with you, she's respecting you, she's fucking you as well, and she enjoys fucking you, right? She really enjoys it, because then, bro, I've got no like second thought. I'll wake up, I'll lock in, and I've still got my beautiful woman by my side. This one here, if you don't have her love, and sure, you make the money, but imagine how miserable you'd be making money and you just can sense your girl doesn't even like you. She fucks you like as if it's a chore every now and then she says no a lot of the time, and your children then are seeing parents who aren't even that like in loving. Then it's like they don't really like respect you as much because they notice your wife doesn't respect you much. Like, fuck, bro, I swear to God, a few guys would be watching this video saying, oh, I'd choose this one, I'd choose this one. It's just because they're fucking retarded. This is the way, right? And hopefully you don't have to choose this. Hopefully you can have the fucking money and the love at the same time. But I'm telling you, if you have to prioritize, right? In life, everything is like a priority. And don't be a fucking illogical little dumbass and say, oh, well, they're both priorities. No, priority is just a one-term sort of word. Priorities shouldn't even be a word. What's your priority? What is number one? It should be the love, right? That's the big lesson of this. And this is in terms of like, being in a relationship. Your own priority in your own personal life will probably most likely be the money, like your work, for example. But I'm just trying to make this video to just kind of rewire your mindset to tell you, bro, if you don't have the money, it's okay. Some guys have asked me like, oh, Hamza, I don't really have the money. Should I like not date or anything. I'm like, actually, now might be the best time for you to start dating. You meet a girl who likes you right now when you don't have money, you'll probably make money faster. And you've also found a girl who's actually like, genuinely into you because you don't have money, right? A lot of guys will think, oh, well, I don't have money, so I won't date right now. I won't even try right now because I'm not at the level I want to be. But to that, I'd say, no, like, bro, there's always a black swan event. There's always like a sort of lucky event where even though you're like a 5 out of 10 right now, you could actually meet a girl who's a fucking 10, or let's be realistic and say she's like a 9 out of 10. There's always the chance. And so if you're open to it, you might actually find the girl that you'd rather be with right now rather than wait until you're already a millionaire and then you've got to second guess if this bitch wants clout or if she wants money or whatever. So you get my point, right? So a lot of guys, they are adamant that they need to make money to attract the girl, to get her love, and they need to make money for the family. Not true. Now, you want to make money. You need to make money for yourself as a man because you are a masculine man and you want to excel in your work and you want to have money so you can, have a better life and whatever. Sure, 100%. But the biggest thing is stop thinking that money guarantees you the love. The hard-working husband gets cucked. He gets sent to the cuck chair. The hard-working husband who is not actually being passionate at home with his wife, but he's working hard, he's paying all the bills. His wife is getting that passionate love from a guy who makes less money, but just is more passionate. He's, holding eye contact with her. He has one conversation with her and a pussy gets wet compared to like the sort of fat husband, whatever, who's not even attractive anymore, but he makes the money, he provides. Women aren't loyal to the guy who provides. They're not. They're loyal to the guy whose dick they're sucking. That's just the fact, bro. Like, that's a brutal fact here. Let me say that again. Women's loyalty, it is not for the guy who gives them money. I'm telling you, you'd think it would be. It's not. I'm telling you, it's not at all. It's 100% for the guy who they're sucking and fucking. Specifically, if you want to get even deeper, and maybe this should be a different reason, it's for the guy who they're giving a blowjob to, not just having sex with, but a blowjob is like the ultimate form of like, okay, she fucking really fucking like wants you. And of course, a girl can give a blowjob to a guy she doesn't, care about, of course. But in terms of like, like we're talking about a married woman, whatever, the person she's giving a blowjob to is the one who she respects the most. It's not the guy who's paying the bills. It's the guy who she's like sort of in real passionate love with. The guy she's got the passion with, he's the one that she really wants, whether it's the husband, hopefully it is, or it ends up being like some guy on the side whilst the husband's working hard all this time. So all this to say, just be careful on your pursuit of money and working hard, because I don't want that to detract from your actual sort of love and passion, because this is awesome. But imagine if this makes you lose her love and passion and then she ends up fucking some broke guy instead, which you might be thinking, oh, well, she was low quality, whatever. But honestly, like, bro, like cheaters are cheaters. But like, bro, every woman is built like this. Not that they're cheaters, but every woman, they don't actually completely and utterly respect and appreciate the guy who makes the money. They just fantasize about the guy that they're actually passionate about. Best case scenario, you're both. Okay, sweet. But what happens to most guys, especially guys like us who are a bit more on the sort of self-improvement obsessive side, we end up going more extreme on the money side and we kind of stop doing the romance. We stop flirting with her. We stop doing like sexually adventurous things with her. We stop fucking her in public. We stop doing 69 and whatever. And before you know it, you've got a bit of a tame sex life because you think it's a bit of a season right now whilst you're focusing on money, and then you find out she's been cheating. Right, so just be fucking careful. This is the big thing I don't want to happen to you is you're a hardworking, masculine guy. I don't want your sort of single-mindedness, focus on your work, on money, to lead you to the point where then you've kind of neglected her sort of her lust for passion, that then basically the girl or, the family that you're working so hard for crumbles because the thing that actually would have kept it together is gone. You need both in life. You absolutely need both in life. Make sure you don't sacrifice on this one, which is what most hardworking husbands do. Hardworking husbands get divorced and cucked all the time. It happens like what? 100 times a day, 1,000 times a day, bro. You probably know like 10 friends of yours whose fathers were the hardworking husband, just worked, provided, and their wives just left them. You probably can think of a few of your friends, maybe even your own parents, that your friends' parents And your friend's mother divorced her hardworking father because he was doing all of this. Sweet. He was doing all this, but he just completely neglected this. This is what happens to most like masculine guys who are, quite traditional. The new age man is the guy who still climbs the sort of status ladder. He wants the money, he wants the work, but he levels up his love making skills, his passion as well at the same time. That's it. Like let me just explain this to you actually, because this will be quite interesting. So the old school thing, the level 1 was the guy who just provides. He just focuses on that, but he's got very little of the love side. This did work when religion was, around, but then when religion has kind of taken a back step, people are less caring about it. Even the religious people, just they don't have the same level of pressure and commitment as, we used to hundreds of years ago. Then without this, now these guys are getting divorced. Then we got to level 2 of relationships, which is that, okay, most guys are kind of weak little bitches. They're not really making much money. In fact, the average man makes less money than the average woman these days. Like, there is actually a gender pay gap, and it's against men. But a lot of guys are actually quite loving these days. They're actually, more in touch with their sort of emotions. They're being nicer to girls. So they don't have the money side, the sort of masculine side, but they've got the love side. So this is where more of the sort of short-term relationship comes from. Short term because the woman kind of appreciates the love, but then she can't really see a future because he's a bit of a fucking pussy. So I want you to be a level 3 man, which is that you have both. This is extremely rare. Extremely rare. You're a traditional guy in the sense that, okay, you work really hard, you discipline yourself, you have routine, you go to bed at the same time, you wake up at the same time, whatever, and you make money, you become successful. But you also have this weird spiritual level kind of thing where you learn how to love at the same time. You look into attachment styles, you look into love-making skills, passion, you learn how to become more present with a woman. You get better sex skills and flirting skills and whatever. You do all these for a better love life, and you also are masculine and making money. That's what I want for you. This is the highest level. This is the future for men, by the way. So most guys still stuck. Like less and less of our generation of guys are stuck here. Some of the older guys, most of the older guys are here where all they know is about money, but they don't know how to like love a woman. They don't know how to make her feel sexy. They don't know how to flirt, whatever. Then the level 2 is the guy who's just, he's a bit of a modern day little simp. He's the type of guy to ask for like 50-50, so he gives the girls the ick. But he's actually kind of sensitive. He's actually kind of present. He can be nice. He can be lovely. He can give compliments. But he's a bit of a faggot. He's a bit of a fucking like little bitch, basically. Level 3, big level. You can have this sort of sensitive side to make a woman feel safe and loved and appreciated, and you can make her feel sexy, and you know how to fuck. You've got good fucking dick game and everything. But you also make money at the same time. So the money thing, you're going to have to just go figure out your career, business, whatever. But this is what a lot of guys are actually sort of struggling with. And well, actually, it's a split, half-half split. It just depends what your father was like or what you're like, which one you're more lacking in. So you might want to just go think, okay, which one are you lacking in right now? Are you making money? Do you have like a career or business idea right now, like you've been planning? If not, the second link in the description will take you to my business program, where I basically teach you how to become an educational content creator like me, like how to be like a YouTuber, Instagram, whatever, and make money online, which is like a fucking amazing business model, like the full step-by-step course. Then we do calls and everything. That's the second link in the description. And if you want to learn more of the love-making skills, like for example, you want to learn how to actually fucking like dick a girl down to the point that she'll fucking remember you forever, then the first link in the description, we've got some of these courses, which, would help you there. So you'll check off both boxes. Hope this helps. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.